How's it going, everybody? We're back with another Raid Shadow Legends video. I got stuck. I got really stuck. I can't progress on a lot of the places where I want to progress. I got super frustrated when I started trying to make my way through the Doom Tower because I just couldn't get past this scarab. I don't have the right characters for it, and the time it'll take me to build up the one character I do, the Trapper, this tower is probably going to be over. We're going to have to go. I was super disappointed because there's so much good stuff that I wanted to get going. So I had to put my head down, do some research, talk to some friends who have been playing the game for a very long time, and I have a game plan now, and I want to share the game plan with you. And the game plan is very simple. We got to start leaning into our other progression paths so we can push things while we wait to get certain characters to do certain things from these shards, but there's a lot of things we can still work on, right? So the faction wars is something I'm going to be leaning heavy into. I was at a time just trying to get the bare minimum done, just do that first stage and get as far as I can, but now for a faction like the Bannerlords, man, I got a full team. I got Wrath, I got Stagnate, I got a lot of great characters I can lean into, but some of these characters are completely naked, right? Like, I don't have the gear for them, and without the gear, without sort of the ascension, without all that kind of stuff, they lose a lot of their power, and they don't really help as much as I would like. And then I ran into this issue where I just didn't have a lot of gear. Now, I do now, because I've been working on some stuff. You see, I've got a lot of speed gear to check out, see what's valuable, some accuracy gear, lots of lifesteal gear, and if you know the game, you know where I'm headed with this. It's time we talk about some bosses and farming to get more characters involved instead of just building a super steep team, instead of just building 5 characters for the arena, for a clan boss. We gotta start branching out. And the first step of that is going to be to get those characters some gear. So that's what we're going to talk about in this video. And there are 3 great places where you have control over what you can put into it. That's going to be your energy. Maybe you're going to use some gems. Maybe you'll just farm it a lot during the day. And that's going to be your Ice Golem's Peak, your Dragon's Lair, and your Fire Knight's Castle. One of these is a clear winner and the others aren't. So let's go through them one by one. We got the Ice Golem's Peak. He's got the life, offense, defense, critical rate, resistance, retaliation, which is actually a kind of a cool set, reflex, curse, and provoke. Personally, I'm not a super fan of these sets, but even if I was, the problem I have with this one is the difficulty of the boss itself. Now, let's go in there. Let's do a quick version of it. These characters are cool. Let's make sure Deacon is the leader. Speed over damage. Always, always, always. Let's grab our Stagnite. Oh, then we're losing our healer, though. Okay, now let's grab the healer, and let's get in there. We're not going to do a super 8. I don't want to waste the energy. Let's try and push this one. And what I want to show here is I could probably do a couple more stages here on this difficulty, but I got pretty stuck here, and honestly, the gear isn't super relative to what I'm looking for in my gear sets anyway, and because the stats in the gear sets are already RNG, just trying to get good RNG stats on a set that you don't necessarily like, not really the move. But there's more than that. This boss is just incredibly difficult. So when he attacks all enemies, he does a lot of interesting things. So he'll place a 50% decreased accuracy debuff. He will attack all enemies one time whenever his HP drops below 80, 60, 45, 30, and 15%. This attack will revive any of the dead allies. It will ignore 50% of enemies' defense for each alive ally. This attack also has 20% chance of placing a freeze debuff for one turn. The chance of placing a freeze debuff increases by 40% for each ally. You see, I already lost my turn meter rewinder, and I'm doing a very low difficulty right now. My point is, this boss is very hard, doesn't give me the sort of sets that I've been instructed are more valuable, you know, speed, lifesteal. So I'm not too interested in pushing this boss, and I don't want to build up the sort of character, sort of sustain needed to fight against what he does. I just don't have interest in that. The next one I want to talk about is the Fire Knight's Castle. He has Fury, Curing, Immunity, Shield, which Shield is actually very interesting, especially when I'm looking at that Scarab Lord. Crit damage, frenzy, regeneration, stun, and savage. So again, these sets are actually a lot better in my opinion, but not what I'm super interested into. You can see I pushed this one even less. We got 3 out of 5 here. So I'm going to come in here. I definitely want to use her because she does do a turn meter rewind that we're going to need. Yep, that's fine. And I want to grab my healer here. And the thing about this boss is we definitely want to have our speed going, because what this boss does is actually even more annoying than what the Ice Golem does. Now, this boss has basically a shield counter. I think it's at 9 for this difficulty, and it might go even higher. And they just don't take damage. He takes no damage. So once again, it's a boss that the mechanics, and there are actual mechanics in this game, which I think is really fun. The mechanics needed here. Oh, so it's 7 right now. The mechanics needed to beat this boss before he absolutely annihilates me with just his attacking all enemies, decreasing speed. He kind of snowballs quite a bit on you. The mechanics needed for him aren't worth it for me. See, we broke through his shield. We did a little bit of damage. He doesn't heal. Now he's got his shield back up. For this boss, I need this demon lady I have over here. I forget her name. But she does a turn meter rewind, which helps me, and she hits 3 times. Helps me break through his shield faster, stop the boss from taking a turn. It didn't actually land there. And then I can actually do some damage. Once again, this is a much easier difficulty, which is why it looks so easy. But I would get stonewalled here probably in the next 4 or 5 difficulties. And I just don't like the gear sets. And that leaves us who I think and who I'm recommending is the main boss y'all should be farming in the early game. Because I think these sets are the best. The accuracy set is huge. The speed set is probably the most important set in the game, next to only lifesteal for the early game. So speed is going to let you take more turns than enemy. There's a couple characters, namely Elhain. If she has like 200% speed, then she's going to do 2 turns before the enemy does 1. This will help you push your campaigns, help you farm faster, help you get more 6-star characters from that regard. So speed set is really good. And if you go to farm the speed set in the regular campaign, well, let's go take a quick look at it because it is really, really bad. So even on Brutal, if we were to go in here, we look at the speed stat, it can only drop 3 to 5 stars, but it can also only drop common and uncommon pieces, is my understanding. And that's all I've ever gotten. So just definitely not a place to farm that. Whereas if you were to go into your dungeons, I can get all the way up to epic level gear here. But it's not just that. We got the lifesteal set, which is great. The destroy set I found to be very important in the issue I'm currently having in the Scarab Lord. I need to destroy the Scarab Lord's max HP. I think I need to destroy 30% of his max HP so that he'll actually start dying. And then I can push the Doom Tower. So I definitely need these sets. Toxic is a really good poison set. I like that in the clan boss. If I get a good Toxic set that has the good substats, I'll throw that on Oculate in the blink of an eye, and he'll do even more damage there. Frost Days, kind of whatever. Avenging, I'm not super into Avenging. I think that one is whenever a debuff is placed, do a throwback. And then Stalwart is just, you take less AoE damage. But this is the boss I think that has the most interesting sets. We got accuracy, speed, lifesteal, destroy, and toxic. So 5 out of the 9 sets seemed interesting, but it's not just that. We talked about the other 2 bosses and how they were pretty difficult. The dragon is not nearly as difficult. You see, I push a lot further, all the way up to 19, but I don't really farm 19. I farm 16 because it's void and it's auto and it's faster. But let's get in here and let's talk about what the dragon does and why you don't really need to worry about him nearly as much. So, I mean, the waves are what the waves are, right? You definitely want to make sure your characters aren't dying. And if you need to drop down lower difficulties, definitely do that. Just make sure when you're looking at the chest, the item you're going to get, it's 4 to 6, which, or 4 to 5? I think that starts at 13, the 4 to 5. But I like going 4 to 6, you know, go big or go home. Try and get the best gear. And the reason I'm making this video, because this is what I'm doing right now. I'm going to throw a lot of my gems into this. I want to get a lot of gear because I want to start building up my faction war teams to push further, because that's going to give me forge resources that I can use to make more gear. So it's like a snowball into a snowball, and it's going to help just kind of make sure my roster isn't growing just tall, it's growing wider, because you need a lot of different characters for this. Now the dragon, he does hit pretty hard, and he does have a pretty interesting mechanic where he's going to stand up and we got to break him out of his life. He's going to do that in a second here. All right, so here we go. We got to break through this purple life, or he'll breathe on us and do a stun. I think that's, what is that? Which one? It's Scorch. So attack all enemies, place a stun debuff for 1 turn. This skill will be locked and hidden if the dragon takes enough damage with this skill. So let's see, are we going to get it done? No, he's going to breathe on us. But this is not a game breaker. So because we have a good speed set, which we're farming from him, we kind of lap him, so we drop the stun, our healer gets to bring us back up, and then we just get to go back to work, which I think is a really nice, easy mechanic to work your way into, and it happens to help you in other aspects. Speed helps you against clan boss, it helps you in the faction war, it helps you in arena. Lifesteal will help your solo character that you need to carry your food to build up higher stars, and so it's this really, really nice snowball of a boss, and definitely where I'm going to be dumping a lot of my resources. I have like 700 gems right now. I'm probably going to be dumping at least half of them into this guy because I want a much bigger gear stock than what I currently have. The gear stock I have is atrocious. Also, at this higher difficulty, I can get ancient shards, and I'm a sucker for opening them. We're going to do that when we're done this boss here. Because I do need more characters, and I need characters to do certain things. I need a character for max HP destruction. I need a character that does shielding. I need a character that does HP burn for the spider. I need a character that does sleep for the evil bat guy I showed you that I couldn't really climb, that helps you ascend your gear. We'll have to do a whole other video on that. But I need a bunch of characters, and you really are at the mercy of RNG in this game, which, if I'm being honest, how bad can it be? I'm like a month and a week into the game, and I'm already able to push the hardest difficulty on Minotaur, getting up there on Dragon. Tower is supposed to be endgame. Okay, this is great. We just got some lifesteal sets. Attack percent. I like that. Hopefully when we upgrade it, we'll get some speed on that bad boy. Gloves. These are garbage gloves, right? Defense, resistance, and attack. What I really want is I want crit right here, and I want some speed and some other stuff there. So unfortunately, those gloves, they'll go to the vendor, but that's okay. But that's just what I want to make this video on. I want to talk about gear and what if you're feeling stuck, it's probably where you need to start hunkering down and focus on one progression path. If you got your masteries in order, then maybe you want to start looking at gear. Maybe you want to look at accessories, which is another form of gear. But the spider boss, like the golem, like the fire knight, there's some interesting mechanics there. The healing, the HP burn, controlling those minions. You can't just do that with a brute force team, whereas the dragon layer, you kind of can. The sand devil's necropolis, I need a sleep for this boss, I think is my understanding here. After attacking, place sleep debuff on him. So yeah, when he is asleep, also immune to HP exchange, but he's immune to all debuffs except sleep. So this is going to be, I think, what I need to do to get some damage in on this boss. So that's why I need to build the gear for that. And I guess, you know what, Dragon Slayer does have the days one, so maybe we can get sleep through that. Another avenue for the dragon. I don't know, guys. That's where I'm at right now. I need to widen my roster. I need to improve this. Let me know if I'm on the right track or if I'm not. And if you're a new player, hell, let me know how's it going with your adventures. And if you have friends that want to join the game, go ahead and download using that QR code in the bottom right corner over there. That does support the channel and will get you a bunch of goodies. You get an epic champion. You'll get two epic champions, actually, plus a bunch of resources. But without further ado, let's open up this ancient shard. Boom! What are we going to get? Oh, no streamer luck this time. We got Grappler. He does weaken. He does a poison, so if I didn't have Oculate, I'd be looking for that. Ooh, place a shield buff on all allies equal to 20% of their max HP. Ah, this could be good for the Scarab. We'll have to look into that. Nice, nice, nice. Let's open up one more. Are we going to get lucky? Simon says, yeah, we got a purple. What do we got? Ooh, Rulia. All right. We got weaken, decrease defense, decrease speed. When she's ascended enough, she'll increase crit rate buff on all allies. Increase accuracy by 40 in the dungeons. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, guys, that's it for this video. Make sure you use that QR code to download the game if you want to come play with me. Get a bunch of good resources. Hit up the clan because we are looking for new members. But as always, stay happy, healthy, have fun, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now. That's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Stay happy, healthy, have fun, and I'll see you in the next one.